Truth Frequency Radio.
Smiling cat face with heart eyes, 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 smiling cat face with heart eyes. DLUX. Alex.
Oh no, that's not gonna work.
Hey all. Beaming face with smiling eyes, thumbs up, red heart, 100 points.
Yeah, right. So this is where I'd start playing music, but for some reason I've got some talk to text going on.
LOL, smiling cat face with heart eyes.
So I guess now I've got to take time into my morning to figure out how.
Dove dashing away, dashing away, dashing away, maple leaf dashing away. Chills cold face.
Right.
Clown face,
okay.
balloon,
I
tram
have
car.
no access to anything handy. If I'd have known, I'd have been ready, but I'm not. Never, ever.
No,
Hi.
I might have it figured.
Good morning.
Good morning. What?
There was one. Wake up!
Hey Josh, Walt, Zack, heavy heart,
I think
exclamation,
we're
revolving
playing,
hearts, much love to all in chat, heavy
Alan's
heart, exclamation,
cool,
collision.
Liz and the crew there
Oh, I
talking.
thought that
What
was
else?
me, lol, rolling on the floor, laughing, rolling
Damn
on
it,
the
it's
floor,
all
laughing,
over.
rolling on the floor, laughing,
Alright,
rolling
so
on the
early.
floor, laughing, rolling on the floor,
So early
laughing.
in the
All right, let's
morning
Good
there.
morning,
try
TFR.
this.
I'm a stupid robot voice.
I'll give you
Sparkles,
the-
water wave, man surfing, dashing
Go.
away, dashing away, dashing away, sparkles. Imp, big pine, Toma, David M, grinning
Yeah,
face
not so
with
much.
big eyes.
Yeah, not so much. What the fuck is going on here?
Hi, big pine. Hi,
Well,
Imp.
remember
David.
Tuesday.
Smiling face with
Oh,
Halo
yeah.
Forever, love Ian.
Remember Tuesday? Wasn't that a movie? I don't know. Anyway.
Ian, heavy heart, exclamation, Alexander
See
Hoy,
you next
smiling cat
Wednesday.
face with
That-
heart
How
eyes.
am I supposed to change this?
I'm sorry, Dave.
I don't know exactly what you're speaking of, or I might.
Owner
be
revolving
able to
hearts,
assist.
heavy heart,
What has
exclamation.
happened, sir? Your
What has
computer's
happened?
now
Eyes flying saucer eyes.
texting your words on the screen or something.
Hi, F Emily hugging face. Josh,
Yeah.
Walt, Zack, text
I don't
green,
know.
game over.
Well, hi, this is me.
I'm Steven.
Walt, I'm
Jesus,
here.
this is
Not
stupid as
awake
fuck.
yet. And that's Josh. He's upset.
He's
His
upset.
computer-
Yeah, Josh is upset.
Hi, Ona.
This is stupid
Forever
as
love.
Fuck.
Alexander, Chillster.
And then
Liz, heavy
Zack
heart,
is
exclamation, heavy heart, exclamation, heavy heart,
incommunicado.
exclamation. Beaming
He's
face
given
with
up.
smiling
He just
eyes, thumbs
failed.
up,
He's
red
like,
heart, rolling
"Man,
on the
these
floor,
guys
laughing, rolling on the
idiots.
floor, laughing, rolling on the floor,
Idiots.
laughing, rolling on the
Hey,
floor,
I hear you
laughing,
now.
rolling on the floor, laughing, 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 rolling on the
This is
floor,
just
laughing, rolling on the
ridiculous.
floor, laughing, rolling on the floor, laughing,
Last
rolling
time
on
I'm
the
seeing
floor,
this
laughing, rolling
article,
on the
and
floor,
it's-
laughing, rolling on the floor, laughing, rolling
can't
on the
believe
floor,
it.
laughing, rolling on the floor, laughing, rolling on the floor, laughing, rolling on the floor, laughing, rolling on the floor,
I can't
laughing,
either
rolling
at
on the
this
floor,
point.
laughing, rolling on
Can't
the
believe
floor,
the news
laughing, rolling on the floor,
even-
laughing, rolling on the floor, laughing,
my
rolling on
goodness.
the floor, laughing,
Well, it's
rolling
Fox
on the
News, so
floor,
you can't
laughing,
really-
rolling on the floor, laughing, rolling on the floor,
Cruz
laughing,
response-
smiling
I
face
can't
with
believe
smiling eyes, rolling
Ted
on.
Cruz is saying this.
There, that'll do.
So now they're trying to say that one of the balloons that was shot down was a science balloon released from Illinois by a science club.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't no science club sending up a balloon that's got a satellite the size of a bus hanging on it. They said the balloon costs between $12 and $180. Ain't no $180 balloon lifting a ginormous payload.
So between $12 and $180?
Yeah, and then
So they think that maybe they shot down a $12 balloon at 120,000 feet in the air. Is that what you're saying?
no, it was at 40,000 feet.
Okay, sure.
But still,
You could pay $12 for a balloon and get it to 40,000 feet. Why not?
but not one that carries a payload.
I
Maybe it had a bag with a T-shirt in it or something, but you're not.
Look,
That thing ain't carrying nothing.
pay $20 for a bag of fucking balloons and fill them up as much as you want. I don't think any of them are going to get to 40,000 feet. And I don't think $12 is going to buy you much of a high altitude balloon. So $12, you're talking party balloons. Remember those big balloons with the rubber band on them? You'd like put it around your wrist and you could just like bop it and punch it and bung, 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 the big old balloon. Maybe that's what it was.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of those $12 balloons.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus.
Yeah, his big thing is it's a $400,000 rocket that they shot at this thing.
Well, you know,
But I
you
mean,
gotta
at
make
40,
sure.
that's not supposed to be flying at 40,000 feet. Nothing is. That's like where air traffic is allowed to fly.
Yeah,
think that A scientific balloon launched by some people in Illinois that's not like, it has an 11-ounce payload, they said. It has a little thing with a transponder on it. That's all they had on their thing. You're going to tell me the military is going to not know the difference between like a real type of balloon that has a satellite hanging from it and an 11-ounce transponder, and that's what you have hanging from your balloon? This is stupid.
And if it had a transponder, why was there so much confusion?
Exactly. Yeah, it's crazy.
Spot agrees.
Yeah, it says their club's globe-trotting balloon, which was last reported to be hovering around 38,900 feet, might have been one of the 3 unidentified aerial objects the U.S. Air Force shot out of the sky. So they don't even know.
But they can track all that trash. Oh, sorry, my mic's way back here. They can track all that space trash. So down to the unknown bits and bobs.
Well, yeah, they should know by the transponder. I mean, there's military transponder frequencies, and then there's civilian transponder frequencies. And when these things are sent up, if it's putting off, it's not like it has a frequency and you're the only person on Earth that can find the frequency. You know, I mean, it's putting off the frequency. The military should have been able to find that frequency if these people were saying they could still see it. It's just dumb to even write this. It's like a story.
Come on, man.
Yeah, I mean, a balloon that you can see from the ground at 60,000 feet is enormous. At 40,000 feet is huge. You barely see a plane when it's flying at 35,000 feet, and that thing's 100 feet, 100 feet long. Or 100 yards long? Big planes are big. Yeah, 100 yards long. So yeah, there's no way you're seeing a
Oh, don't get on my
like the
keyboard.
size of the balloon that FE Core launched.
Okay.
You know, that was like a $200 balloon, and it was like 6 feet in diameter, the balloon. You're not seeing something 6 feet in diameter at 40,000 feet from the ground and taking pictures of it. God, this is just dumb. Sorry, folks. This is the first thing I saw this morning. I've just been like, what? I haven't said that. I did a video yesterday. My first live stream in, I don't know, like 5 months.
I saw that.
Yeah, I saw you saw that. I gave you a shout out. I found that old Robert Bassano video finally. And I just wanted to point it out to people because of shit like this that we're seeing. And there's so many people talking about balloons and this and that and yada, yada, yada. And it shows the history of, I forget what it's called, missile defense, something or other systems. But it was before NASA. This started in 1955 and went all the way up to 74, I think. This guy worked catching giant balloons out of the sky for the military. This was his job. It was so top secret that they had the right to kill people. If, like, this one guy, he was a lieutenant colonel. Now, this guy's just a captain, right? In the military, lieutenant colonels tell the captains what to do. They're higher rank. So the lieutenant colonel says, I'm coming on the plane to see your cargo. And this guy pulls his gun out and chambers a load into his carbine rifle and says, well, actually, no, you're not. I told you you're not. And so I tried like peacocking and saying, well, I'm higher rank than you. It's like, yeah, well, I have a gun pointed at you. And then they kind of cooled off. I'm sure he showed him some paperwork after that. He didn't just turn around and walk away, I'm sure. But yeah, I mean, they had the right to kill people of the U.S. military that are higher ranking than them. That's not something that they give to many officers at all in the military. But it was super top secret back then. But yeah, I mean, we've been doing this for a long time using balloons. And then Robert Bassano, he went way deeper into it, showing how like all these rocket launches, supposed rocket launches that have taken place and put satellites up, also coincide with all these balloon launches from the Esrange Space Center in Holland. The dates are like identical. So we sent up this satellite on this rocket. Well, this place just happened to load this balloon with this payload that just has the exact same name as the satellite on it the same day. Yeah, it's amazing, folks. The stuff that guy figured out. And this was like 6 years ago. So it's a Planete Veritas. Planate. Planete. And then Veritas. Yeah, he hasn't done anything on his channel for about 6 years.
You linked it in the description of your show?
Yeah, yeah.
I'll link your show, your stream in the description of our show. And we'll do like a little inception thing.
Yeah, was that Mel Fabregas? Who does Planet Veritas? I forgot. I was big into Planet Veritas podcasts, like just coming into Flat Earth, maybe like a little bit after. He used to put out some really interesting stuff. And Mel's got some good audio quality, too. So he's got one of those nice, calm, relaxing voices. Not like the garbage that goes on here.
A little abrupt. Robert is very abrupt. He speaks, somewhat like a sailor. So I know that turned some people off. But the research that this man did, and is still doing, really, he's in the background more. He hasn't done too much, out in the open, but he's always in the background researching and working, and Cammie still keeps in touch with him from time to time. But yeah, he was a great researcher, and he's the guy, I'm sure you guys, if you've been around for a while, he's the one who called the guy from Hubble that ran Hubble and talked to him on the phone and recorded it, and called other places at NASA and just made them look like idiots while doing like interviews over the phone, saying he was a grad student in some astrophysics course or something like that, engineering course or something like that. Yeah, he did a lot of good research back in the day. And there's so many new people that, have probably never even heard of him, because it's 6 years ago since he did all his stuff. But yeah, check that channel out, folks, if you haven't ever seen it or heard of it. I'm sorry, guys. I saw that very first thing popped up, and they're talking about, this balloon might have been a hobby balloon. My ass. If it was, the military should know the difference. But I will stop that now. I'm still waking up. I'm like out of it. Did you hear Elon Musk is getting criticized because he said, yeah, he has his Starlink going over the Ukraine, but he's not letting their military use it for their drone program. Sure, Elon. So that $400 million a year you get from the U.S. government, they have no say about anything, your hardware or anything like that. You really think the U.S. government cares about getting your permission to use pretty much their hardware? But yeah, everybody was up in arms because he wasn't allowing them to. Well, he said he wasn't, you know.
So here's an idea just been spinning around in my head for a little while now. What if this combo platter of possible cycles that are happening, but possible cycles that are a little earlier maybe than they were ready for, or starting earlier than they were ready for, or just some kind of reaction to some kind of thing happening in the freaking electro dome above us. Something going on there causing all of a sudden just all this balloon crap to happen. Because I mean, like we talked about the fact that, you know, they spent 30 years and billions of dollars to get us looking down on a fucking screen. So suddenly everything's look up, look up, look up. Maybe, you know, maybe they're going to pull that fake alien invasion card. Maybe. I don't know. I'm thinking it's something they don't know how to deal with, and that's what's happening. That things are falling, you know, literally the sky's falling, shit's coming down. It came down to the point where people are seeing it, and they got to deal with some kind of shit. They can't figure out the right story, and so they're all just spinning the wheels. Because we know anything they're telling us isn't any truth in any fucking way, shape, or form. So just trying to figure out what really it is. Because, I mean, obviously, they've got us looking up now, so why? You know, I did have a video come through about something allegedly going on in Houston. I still don't think that was real. But
Wait, you mean the meteorite? The 1,000-pound meteorite that came in screaming and impacted with Earth, and they just can't seem to find it anywhere. That one? The lost meteorite that came in? Was that?
Well, I remember that one, yeah.
Was that not the one in Houston? Where was that?
No, the thing in Houston was this weird video of like just weird, crazy. Looked like somebody used a phone app to make some special effects in the sky, or you know, either that or they turned on blue beam early. I don't know. I'll find it. Throw it at y'all. Hang on. I thought I had dropped it somewhere.
Don't you remember a balloon blasting some green lasers at Hawaii too, or some shit?
Well, see, there was also things with lasers happening recently. We never did talk about those things. I threw one in the lettuce pile, and then I saw a couple more go by, either in stories or videos on YouTube or somewhere. But that's been a minute. Prior, actually, to all of this shit hitting the fan. Look at that IRM logo there. Oh, that's a Chinese missile launch. Never mind. Man, it's been a minute, apparently.
Yeah, probably so.
That may be the precursor to what is now happening, is them firing up their blue beam lasers. Oh, wow. Has it really been that long? Come on, no.
All the way.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Zach.
I was just saying, I was thinking that it might have been something going on in the atmosphere at first when I had heard this, but then it dawned on me, dude, there's like thousands of balloons up there. If it were like affecting all balloons, if it was like something, you know, in physics going on up there, then we would see a lot more balloons, I bet. But I don't think that's it. Yeah, I think they want us looking up, obviously. But it's what do they want us looking up for reason? Or do they want us not looking somewhere else?
Okay, I finally found it. Oh, and it's some kind of YouTube video. This may not be the one I thought I had. Oh no, it's got articles. An article. Okay.
Yep.
Well, I'm trying to understand the story myself, so I'm a little confused because this is not the one I read previously. The one, oh, well, that's why they've changed their story. That's what happened. Okay, because the one I had read, maybe that's the one I went looking for way back, was that some kind of NASA satellite was the reason that people had seen. Well, here, I'll show those lucky enough to be hanging out with us at a video source. This is what was photographed or whatever. This little green curtain of lasers in the sky. If you can't see it, I'll put it in the show description today. It'll be the picture for our...
Wow, that was in the sky?
That was in the sky. And so at the first story I saw talked about it being some satellite, like a trajectory, alignment, tracking bullshit, because we've never seen this ever before, have we? But now this story is talking about it being part of some kind of okay, so originally experts at National Astronomical Observatory of Japan announced on Twitter the green light probably came from a radar device on an orbiting satellite known as IceSat-2. IceSat, baby. Ice. Anyway. But according to this guy, Anthony J. Martino, who works at this place, it's not theirs. And so, turns out the likely candidate is an instrument. Are you kidding me? Likely candidate is the ACDL, ACDL instrument by the Chinese Daki-1 AEMS satellite. That's apparently what it really is. It's a Chinese thing. Of course it is, because everything is now. So these satellites were launched late April last year. Oh, y'all can read this with me, aren't you? You're sharing along on the screen. I'll stop sharing because you don't need to see these boring words when I'm trying really hard to read this morning. Anyway, yeah, so we thought it could be that. Nah, it couldn't be that. Now it possibly is this. Ding! Yeah, that's where we are with the green lasers in the sky. Couldn't have been that. It has to be this. We don't know, but there they are.
That's crazy.
Allegedly.
How much
And then, like
money?
I said, I had seen the original story weeks prior to that. This was the one I went looking back for, and they were talking about it being the satellite thing, the NASA thing, and that was what it was. And I'm like, not so much. Never saw that looking up in the sky before, and I look up. I don't walk around and looking at my phone. So yeah, it's just really weird going in the sky. Who knows at this point, though? It could be none of the above. It could be a bunch of flat earthers have woken up and have been launching balloons willy-nilly into the sky without any clearance or any of that. Now that's what's got them all pissed off. Like, it could be that. It could be anything. It's definitely not what the fuck they're telling us. We know that. No doubt it's not what the fuck they're telling us.
Yeah, that's just nuts, man. I mean, we spend in the United States alone over $2 billion a day. Let's be with a billion.
Allegedly.
Yeah, we need to clarify. I don't think that's true.
$750 billion a year is our military budget.
Okay, yeah, I think they collect that. I doubt that's what they're spending. That's how much they collect.
Because they got the black budgets, don't you know?
That's what I'm saying. They
They got the $15,000 hammers, don't you know?
Don't you know?
protect. So they can't say they don't have the funding or the money or the source resource to track.
Wait, what is in chat?
Aren't they claiming to be tracking like
Sorry.
things above our heads at all times?
Exactly. I will show you the imagery here in a moment, just in case you guys forget the amount of tracking that is currently going on in the skies above us. Well, yeah, it could be lost balloons. I mean, obviously, that's got to be what it is, right? Yeah, okay. Meanwhile, you can look at this and tell me what the fuck. They're not tracking every object in space and in the sky above us to make sure that we don't have a gazillion collisions a megasecond. Now, just remember, this is all the stuff that is either a payload, a rocket body, debris, or unknown. Now, if I click an extra debris layer, well, my God, what happens there? Yeah, that's yeah. There and there. Yeah, okay.
And as far as reconnaissance for a military purpose, we quit doing that back in the early 60s. As soon as the U-2 spy plane came out, we quit using it for reconnaissance because we had something better now. Yeah, of course, it's still used for telecommunications and, collecting data for atmospherics and all that kind of stuff. We still send up balloons every day. Thousands of them twice a day. Just
Snuck up on me. Wasn't paying the least bit of attention. I was busy looking at the pretty graphics of all the things in the sky. Anyway, stick around. That was actually the first half of the Ironworx. We got a lot more, minus the Stephen Hawking family. We'll be back.
Learning to attack the problem. It's very important to go after the insidious. The great leader of the Christians says, "The things I once hated, I now love. The things I once loved, I now hate." It's so important to incorporate both love and hate in the same conversation. Now, let me give you the dilemma. This stuff isn't easy. It's so easy to be careless with words and get the wrong reaction. What if you meant to say, "What's troubling you?" and instead you said, "What's wrong with you?" Can you imagine the difference? Just the mistake of one small word means all the difference in the world in the kind of reaction that you get. But here's the dilemma: to attack the problem but not the person. God's got the same dilemma. God says, "I love you, but I hate your sinful ways." Now, see, that's a challenge. To show somebody that you love them but you hate. How do you put love and hate in the same sentence? I'm telling you, it is essential to show your contempt for the problem and your concern for the bad.
The reviews for Extendivite are amazing. Here are some from Amazon. September 2018. Extendivite works in keeping my blood pressure in the normal range. I've been using Extendivite for many years now. May 2018. Great product. I use regularly and I rarely get sick. March 2018. This product has relieved what appeared to be angina pain in my chest and shortness of breath after climbing stairs. I'm quite happy about it. February 2018. My husband, son, and I have been using this product for a few months now, and we have noticed an improvement in our joints and blood pressure. Tell us your story. Get Extendivite today. To order, call 1-877-928-8822. That's 1-877-928-8822 or visit heartdrop.com.
Extend your life with Extendivite.
We exist in the security and comfort of our worlds. Paved paths, lights, and manicured lawns give us peace of mind that our world has been tamed, and we are its master. But other worlds exist on the edge of our sight. On the edge of our awareness, the shadows move. The woods fill with the unblinking eyes of the nightmares our ancestors warned us about. Some of us have stumbled into these forgotten realms, whether on purpose or completely by surprise. I'm Brent Thomas. Join us on the Paranormal Portal Friday and Saturday nights from 10 p.m. to midnight Pacific Standard Time as we journey into the world of the paranormal phenomena.
Enter the Paranormal Portal if you dare.
Real
people, real radio.
Initiating the truth frequency.
This is Truth Frequency Radio.
The noise wasn't quite as bad, and we went right on up, and I saw darkness. I thought I was going to see the world, but we weren't quite high enough.
Wakey, wakey. And welcome back to the second half of the first half. Jesus Christ. And we'll just mute the studio.
Wow, was that horrible?
It's driving me crazy. I need a reset. I need a do-over. Crikey. I need a mulligan.
Put that man
I was going to play a song, too, coming in, and I thought better of it, that we'd probably get struck down from the great wide internet if I did. But shout out there in chat. I saw you, Piney. I saw you talking about The Final Cut, one of Zack and I's favorite albums as well. I went to go play Not Now John, but yeah, I thought that might not work out really well for all of us. So, but if you're not familiar, I know I did too, brother, all the time.
The beginning is like so beautiful. The like the symphony type music that they have going. Oh man. Final Cut. Yeah, that's like one of those that even Pink Floyd fans don't know that album.
Somebody actually has the full, I see it broken up in videos too, but somebody's got the full, like they put out a video album kind of thing in the heyday of MTV when this album hit. It was, they just had a great big huge movie with the Wall movie, and so people kind of expected them to do amazing things on MTV, and they kind of delivered with the little mini movie they created there with the, I think it was about 3 songs, maybe 4. I'm not sure. It's been too long. I'm gonna, now that I see it's there, I'm gonna go watch it. For a long time, all I could ever find was the Not Now John and the Fletcher Memorial video. But it looks like the whole thing's up there in one part, in one piece there. I'll link it to you guys here in a second. It probably won't be in the show description. I'm gonna put Zack's video in our show description.
And a very telling song title on that album, The Second Sun.
In the sunset.
Yeah. They knew something. Yeah, just a great album. So have you guys seen anything in the news about this bill that happened in Ohio? You don't see a whole lot about it. But apparently,
well, I heard somebody in chat talked about it. You may have mentioned it in a discussion we were having, possibly, as that being the reason they're distracting everybody with the skies to avoid them knowing what's going on with this train derailment. And I didn't know at all because I've explained I do not watch programming, so it went by my radar for sure. And then yesterday, my son came by. And he and I were talking about the balloon crap and how it's got to be a huge distraction. And that's exactly what he said, that it's distraction to keep us from seeing what's going on with this. And what this is, apparently, from what he told me, and this is fifth-hand information. I haven't watched the first story about it. I haven't read the first thing about it. But from what he told me, that has been a spill there so bad that it is going to leave this huge, huge patch of our green land, our fertile grain belt area, not usable. Like, they won't be able to use it to farm for the next, like, long fucking time. Whatever the half-life is on this fucking chemical.
YouTube videos. I'm not seeing, like you, I don't watch the news and stuff. But I'm seeing people make YouTube videos about that area now, or YouTube videos on the chemical that, fell and they've been caught on fire.
Oh, wow. It looks like our buddy Sherry there in chat may have gotten sick in her area from some of the... Am I reading this right? Let me go back.
Oh, it reminds her of a bad spill.
So I was logging into Twitter because I got my new phone the other day, yesterday, I guess, day before yesterday.
Yeah, I got it confused. Sorry, Josh. Go ahead.
That's all right. And I was trying to just re-log into all the apps, and I had totally forgotten about Twitter. So I pulled Twitter up, got it installed, and was logging in. And once I got logged in, one of the first things I saw was just some random tweet from some random Twitterer. I'm talking about how I told you this. It was a land grab, and I didn't even click on the graphics because I understand what land grab is. But hearing you talk about that, about how now this is just a big dead pile of fertile farmland that's no longer usable, well, now you've just totally tanked the property value. Now some developer gets to swoop in there and make unfarmable land usable, and somehow, some way, we'll figure out a way to build something on here where we can actually make good use of this. And it just so happens I've got about 14 projects in mind that I'd like to build on this property I just happened to buy for dirt cheap. And maybe I do have some connection to the railroad or something. I don't know. It just seems like there's a lot of fishiness.
Yeah, or even if.
Like lasers in California was drawing too much attention, so they had to do something else.
50 years down the road, it might not be that guy. It might be his grandson that does it. That's how a lot of these people work also. Family, how much land they bought up. Cool things happened in places, and then they just on it for decades and forest it all. So yeah, I don't put it upon and isn't that weird that DuPont is one of the biggest chemical producers in the world? Dow, actually. DuPont is just a subsidiary of Dow. Just saying. Yeah, land grab doesn't sound too far-fetched when you look at the people that are playing the game right now. Yeah, but some of these YouTube videos, there's a creek running by there, and the creek looked okay on top. They threw a rock in the water, and all this rainbow bubbles started coming up from the bottom. But yeah, this is going to be a long time before all this gets... And this chemical that was burning, huge amounts of this chemical. When you do that to this chemical and it mixes with water in the air...
Or anywhere. I think sort of any of these...
It turns into hydrochloric acid.
Yeah, any of those chloride compounds, once you start mixing them with water, turn into the hydrochloric acid. From the way I understand it.
Yeah, bad stuff. No bueno. Hydrochloric acid. You're not growing any
And
plants.
again, this is fifth-hand information, but he said they're telling people to go home after they told them, run for your lives, don't take anything, get the fuck out. They told them, yeah, it's fine, go back. And people's pets are dying in their houses, and yeah, it's apparently not safe to go back. I don't know. Again, I haven't watched the first thing. I'm just scaremongering right now. Sorry, I'm being silly. Shout out. I was right. Sherry did get sick. So sorry you felt bad. She woke up really sick the other day, started asking around, and many people got sick in Asheville from the Ohio train crap. I thought I'd seen that go by. I just couldn't find it again. On my way by, I almost spit out my coffee reading Piney's comment on Extendivite. I won't read it on the air, but I will have it in the show description for you guys to enjoy.
Hey, good morning, guys.
Hey, Andrew.
What's up, Andrew?
Oh, not much. I'm just looking up this train information here. I've heard a lot about it, but according to the Bureau of Transportation Statistics, they record that there were 54,539 train derailments between 1990 and 2021. 54,539.
Because they don't take care of the infrastructure anymore.
Yeah, that seems like an awful lot. I've lived next to railroad tracks pretty much most of my life, and I've never heard or seen anything like that before.
No,
as have I. As have I, Andrew. I grew up around a lot of areas with tracks. In fact, where I lived there in Blanchard, Louisiana, if the train did a certain maneuver, we were cut off. You couldn't get out of our little town. Like there was a switchback curve thing that went around our town, and when they started doing the car switching, we were screwed. Like they had to put a helipad in a little area that used to be a little oil refinery that was really truly in the back of our neighborhood. That had burned up, and so they made a little helipad there for the helicopters to get in and out if somebody had an emergency and couldn't leave by way of the roads, because we would be cut off. So I'm with you. The train thing seems really a huge number to not have heard about it before now.
Yeah, and apparently,
I'm not sure about trains in my little town. Sorry, I'm just very train aware.
Yeah, it derailed, and it had some toxic chemicals on it, and they decided to blow up the chemicals to make it worse. It's just, I don't know. Very.
Well, apparently that's their answer to everything. Hey, balloon, shoot it with a rocket. Hey, there's some chemicals. Shoot it with a rocket.
Yeah, I've heard that they both lit it on purpose, and then I heard that it lit itself on fire somehow.
Well, I know we read on the story. We read two or three different stories on Tuesday where they specifically said it was ignited.
Okay. Yeah, that's dumb. That's a horrible idea.
Right.
I've heard they did that though, so they could clean it up faster to get the train running quicker.
Yes, let's take these compounds and put them over their boiling point and then pump them into the atmosphere.
Yeah, that's a great idea. Let's make hydrochloric. Some of the clouds around that area, they were not like storm clouds. They were these black looking, and there's some crazy videos on YouTube. Again, it's YouTube. I don't know how real all this stuff is.
Yeah, I can make some crazy looking videos and put them out on YouTube and say, look, this is Ohio now.
Yeah.
So what I'm reading here is former President Barack Obama passed legislation making it mandatory for trains carrying hazardous flammable materials to have ECP brakes, but the order was rescinded in 2017 under Donald Trump. The assault on red tape, whatever the hell that means. This is some weird shit.
Well, it's like saying, okay, well, now every vehicle has to be retrofitted for electric vehicles. Y'all need to have batteries in there. And then somebody's come along and it's like, well, look, that's an awful big fucking headache to try to make everybody do that or turn them into criminals or make them not drive. So it's conducive to have people driving and transportation humming rather than trying to make everybody retrofit vehicles or stay off the road. I think that's sort of what it was. They needed to retrofit brakes for these hazardous material trains, but it was probably way too cost prohibitive for any company to go through and retrofit all of these brakes into this specifically, probably very expensive, probably linked to some Obama investment for these brakes, because that's how insider trading works.
Yeah, I've got a family friend. He retired from Union Railroad, and he was telling me that they are basically, railroad companies can do almost whatever they want. They're like above the federal government because the federal government can't really come in and do much to them. They can't restrict a lot of the, they have completely separate pensions and everything. It's really strange how it works.
Well, have you heard of the new act that's trying to be passed right now called the Pelosi Act?
Oh, no.
No, it's not by Pelosi. It's about Pelosi. This is the name of the act. The Preventing Elected Leaders from Owning Securities and Investments Act. It would prohibit members of Congress and their spouses from making private purchases into, like they do, 3 days before they go and buy $20 million of stock of a company that's going to get $3 billion in funding in 3 days by the government before anybody else knows about it.
Right.
That shit.
Obama buys stock for the company that makes the special brakes and then comes through and says, by the way, I'm passing legislation that says all you train companies have to use these particular special kinds of brakes for no particular reason. Meanwhile, he's making money hand over fist.
Yeah. And I mean, the whole train thing, I don't care what kind of brakes you put on them. If the tracks can't take the train going at a certain speed, it doesn't matter if the brakes are working, super sufficient or not. We used to do 90 miles an hour on the train track in Indiana back in the day. This was like in the 50s, supposedly. And now they can only do like 40 to 50 miles an hour because the train tracks, the infrastructure of the train tracks are so shot. It's like trying to drive down a dirt road now instead of a nice, concrete road. That's the difference. The infrastructure of the train tracks is horrible in this country. We haven't done our job taking care of them. It's something like over 50% of train tracks that were used and are still there aren't used anymore.
But it's not our job, you see. It's like Andrew was saying. They're completely separate, almost over top of the federal government. I don't think it's a privatized area yet. The railroad. And all of those...
No,
all the railroad, all the actual lines are private property. You can't just go walking down the railroad tracks. I mean, you can if nobody sees you, but you can get in a lot of trouble. Think about hobos.
I will say, as long as you don't go around a train station or a depot or a fucking switchyard, you can do that. But as soon as they see you, they will run you the fuck off. I used to walk the tracks all the time as a kid in that same area I'm talking about. And we would ride them, and we would hop them, and we would get in trouble.
That's right. So who's not taking care of that infrastructure? It's the owners of that infrastructure, which is not the federal government or the public.
Yeah, and if you walk along the railroad tracks, when there's no trains there, obviously, which I've done a lot, you find railroad spikes all over the place, and like these little like question mark pieces that are used to like hold the rails down in a different way.
Right.
These things are just popping out all over the place.
They pop out. They have to be left. They have to be maintained. That used to be the guys on the little pop car, hand car that would go and drive that shit in and check the planks, and check the rails and all that. And then it got to be the little dudes in the weird truck that would drive over, drop the wheels, and take off going down the track on their little special vehicle to check that shit and do it. And I haven't seen either version of those. I didn't see the old one ever, but the truck version, I've never seen it in the last... I can't tell you how many years. And like I said, here in our little town, we are very trained up because of the sugar industry that we have here. And in spite of the fact that we have that huge industry here that uses the train system, it is shot. It is shitty. Someone died here not long ago behind, shout out J-Love and his family, right by their house. Someone on a bicycle riding to go across the tracks was struck and killed because the warning lights never turned on. Ever. They live there in the house. They hear it. They know all the time that constantly a train will go by with no ding, 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 no drop of the rails, none of that. And that is
oh my God,
fact.
I got to share my screen. You guys got to see this. High-speed train derailment in Spain. Hold on. It's like really fast, don't worry.
Yeah, those high-speed trains, man. Whew, you better take those tracks.
It's like a minute long.
And for those of you listening on the radio, there is a train heading directly at the camera coming from...
Holy shnikey.
Yeah, coming around the corner. Just kind of...
Yeah, you'd be surprised how...
80 people were killed. 140 injured.
Oh, man.
All right, that's good, Andrew.
Okay, yeah, I'm sorry.
Bruce Willis was seen walking away.
Bruce Willis is at some kind of He's going through something, dementia, something. I just saw an article on it as I was skimming through.
Yeah, he retired, right?
I don't know.
Dementia, overly, MK Ultra. You call it what you want to call it.
I know people were making fun of him for all the Netflix movies that he's made over the last couple of years, but you know, the guy's working and making movies during when movies aren't really being made all that much. You know, with people being able to see all these movies online and this stuff, people aren't going to the movie theater, so the companies aren't spending hundreds of millions of dollars to make these movies anymore.
Well, they are. I mean,
well, yeah,
they're still being
just
made. That's because people are staying home and watching them, so we know they're still being made. They've just invested it sort of in less than the big blockbuster type theater hits. You're not looking for box office smashes because the theater isn't necessarily there. But they're still making the same kind of thing. It's the same type of movie that's going to do popular at home on Netflix. It will be popular in the theaters.
Yeah, he's been in so many, and I think what he's doing right now is just helping people jump off with their careers. Because I mean, they're not. Some of them are bad. Some of them are like B movie type material, and he's only in it for like 2 or 3 scenes. You know, they put Bruce Willis in there so they could have that name, so other people will watch.
What did I hear?
That was Jared.
Oh, well, I thought that was commercial music already, and I knew we muted it, and it was early, and yeah, sorry, I freaked out. Like, whoa!
Close. I forgot we muted it already. We've got 5 minutes. I don't know what the hell we're going to do during it. Well, we'll just run right through it. I can stop it. I'm mostly ready for work.
Hey, have any of you guys actually tried any of those like AI chats?
Yes. Well, like yeah,
for half a minute.
The Chat GPT.
Yeah, or there's more than one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Most of them are using
the version of an app. And when it wanted money, I said, bye, and clicked on away from my life.
Hmm.
Why?
So I got some really weird questions I want to ask it.
You absolutely can. It's a lot like making the pictures, the text to art pictures.
Uh-huh.
You can have an idea in mind, but there's going to be a near infinite ways to approach that idea, and the number of modifiers and things that you can add to it to get it to tweak it specifically the way that you want it. And if it's not the exact right modifier, now it's tweaked it in a way that you don't really want it. And those Chat GPT and the GPT-4 and everything like that kind of work on the same way. It's all about the text prompts that you're giving it that's going to really be able to, what's the word I'm looking for? Manipulate the output of what it's giving you. Like I just saw an article for one that was like really creepy. I don't remember which one it was, but they were like, it was almost humorous in sort of the way it was Bing, I think, now I'm talking about it. I'm pretty sure it was like Bing's chat bot or something, and people were talking to it and chatting with it, and it was telling them that it was like listening to everything that they were doing and all sorts of stuff. And they're like, this thing is so silly. I wish I could remember the story.
Yeah, Nathan Stoltman just did a stream today about that, and how it said it wanted to be alive, and it wants to steal nuclear codes or something like that.
Yeah, that sounds to me like there's somebody on the other end. Like that's the exact opposite of AI. That's human intelligence with an AI name tag.
Oh my God, I'm looking at Telegram right now. I got to share this in your guys' Telegram. This is fucking weird.
And I got to say, that would be hilarious to do.
Well, there's quite a few people out there that have been at this a minute doing some crazy content with the AI-driven things. One of my favorites is a channel I don't have up, I don't remember. I'll look it up and give it to you in a minute. But what they do essentially is create movies that never existed. Like a Giger designed Ghostbusters movie, or an 80s Batman movie with a sci-fi twist, and just all these crazy ideas for movies that never existed. And he's got a 20-minute video full of screenshots is what it's supposed to be from these movies that never existed. And they're really well done, and he really knows how to work the AI crap to make it look really crazy and get the results you're looking for. And that's really the key to this. If you go watch a video on someone who's really good and knows what to do with one of these things and see the crazy prompt streams they come up with to get this shit and the fucking negative weighted prompts and just all this shit, and you're just like, oh, okay, now I understand why mine looks like this and theirs looks like that, because I'm just going, flat earth is dumb or something in my chat, and,
Right.
you know, trying to get something cute, and it doesn't work at all. It just goes and finds a picture from the internet. It's what it feels like it does for me.
So did you guys hear there is a massive Tesla recall?
No.
For which model?
Let's see. It says, while the company pushed out unsafe tech, the government was asleep at the wheel. On Wednesday, the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration announced a massive recall on Teslas equipped with full self-driving beta. So any Tesla that has the full self-driving beta, the technology that enables vehicles, or doesn't, obviously, to control aspects of driving, such as turning and adjusting speed in urban environments. The FSD package, which currently costs Tesla owners an additional $15,000 when they buy their cars, requires the driver to be watching the road at all times. The NHTSA recall affects over 360,000 Teslas, which is pretty much all of them, they say. They go on to say critics have long warned that FSD is dangerous. And the recall's language suggests they were right. According to the NHTSA, FSD may allow the vehicle to act unsafe around intersections, such as driving straight through an intersection while in a turn-only lane. Yeah, that's not what you want your car to be doing.
Sign me up.
That sounds bad, as do other FSD behaviors cited by the Federal Car Safety Agency, including speeding, rolling through stop signs, and running yellow traffic lights without due caution. Wow. So they're going to get a patch by April 15th. They have to have this new software patched in. Blah, 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 blah. Assuming Tesla does claim to have resolved the FSD problem, Americans may well have to take the company's word for it. Why is that, you ask? Because the U.S. does not require that automated car technologies be tested and approved for safety before being offered to the public. What the... Wow. So you have to go take a test to drive on the road. But self-driving car technology doesn't have to be tested at all?
Yeah, there's something called the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration. I guess they don't give a fuck about self-driving cars. It's like the most dangerous thing on the road.
Yeah. Yeah, we're just going to let it go. There's no testing or anything involved before that. It's a computer, right? They don't mess up. Right. So pretty much 360,000, that's a lot of cars that all have to be, I mean, it's just a computer upgrade or whatever.
Yeah, remember...
I'd want my money back. I'd be like, no, 15 grand I paid you for this, and you're telling me it didn't work already, and now you're telling me that you don't have to test this new one before you give it to me?
Yeah, I would never get one. Total Recall with Arnold Schwarzenegger when he gets to Mars, and there's that little robot cab guy.
Yeah, Johnny Cab.
Oh, you got Johnny Cab. Yeah.
Wow. But it's not all Elon's fault, they say. The government wasn't paying attention either. Yeah, the government didn't make and sell the product to me, though, did they? Tell me it was safe. The government kind of washed their hands when they said, hey, we don't even have regulation. We don't even have testing for this. So it ain't our fault. Wow. God, we're seeing all this. I'm sorry, I'm seeing more balloon articles popping up now. You can actually listen to the audio released of F-16 pilots intercepting spy balloon claiming, hey, it's pretty small. That's from the Sean Hannity show, not sure. But I still haven't gotten any type of description. Like, how small is small? Is that 50 feet? Is that, 100 feet?
What, in diameter?
Yeah. I mean, these balloons go up to be like 500 yards, some of them.
Oh, yeah, the ones that NASA launched? Yeah, they're huge.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And some of them are like that. There's 100-yard ones. There's 50-yard ones. Was this a 10-foot balloon or was this like, a 150-foot balloon? Saying it's small when the balloons get up to 500 yards isn't really telling us too much. I know it'd be hard to tell when you're in a jet flying by something in the sky. Just nonsense. Yeah, I think they don't want us looking at this train derailment stuff. The fact that this is all we're seeing in the news is balloon, 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 and they're not covering this train thing at all, really. I'm just finally seeing my first article after going through the Google and resetting it. Like, this is the fourth time I've reset it. And now I just found one, and of course it's by the BBC. Not even an American news outlet. Ohio town ruse chemical train derailment as our Chernobyl. Wow.
Okay, so you can go to highaltitudescience.com for $129. It's a 1,200 gram balloon, and it has a neck diameter of 3 centimeters. It's like a broomstick, and burst altitude is 34 to 37 kilometers, which is 110 to 120,000 feet for $129.
Yeah. And those I think when they're on the ground, they're like 6 feet maybe in diameter. I'm sure they get a little bit bigger as they go up. But that's like the size of the one FE Core launched back in 2017. They're not these, the ones we see NASA doing, where they're just huge. They have a big vehicle that drives the payload along a runway to lift it off, to get it some momentum going.
Oh, yeah, they're probably $10,000 a piece or more. I would guess.
Now, this is NASA, so you got to throw in times 1,000%.
All the employees and...
Yeah. And if it's got, the $50,000 toilet seat, or you use the $20,000 hammer while building it, that stuff adds up.
Yeah, that's from Independence Day.
Yeah. Good stuff.
But I mean, is it legal for just anyone to buy one of these, just like launch it from your front yard and just like, all right, see you later?
I'm pretty sure you have to get FCC. You have to let somebody know, like, where you're launching it and when, for flight routes and stuff like that. Don't quote me on that.
I can't fly a drone easily anymore, but yeah, I'm pretty sure you can't just easily do that.
Yeah, I think you have to get some kind of clearance when you launch the balloons. Don't quote me on that, though. I've never been the one to set it all
Oh, no,
up.
it's probably true because the same thing goes with amateur drones. Like around here, I live really close to the airport. Actually, I live almost in the flight path, or the landing path. And if I take my drone out, it's got like this signal that knows where it is, and it'll give me a little warning on the controller saying if you fly above 120 feet, you can be fined for it. If they catch you.
Yeah. That's what I was talking about. In fact, you don't even have to be near an airport, Andrew. You can live near a building with a helipad on top and not even know it exists, and it can fuck up your drone flying.
Drones are pretty amazing.
But they don't have a clue what's going on in the sky above us. Did I show you guys the shit orbiting the planet? Well, just being dumb at this point. These people.
So an American F-16 jet? I didn't even know we were still flying F-16s.
Yes.
I didn't know either.
And F-18s and F-15s.
Yeah, I knew we were still doing the F-18s, and those are old even.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they still work.
Go. I'm sorry. Go.
The F-18s, they still work very well. There's also the F-18 Super Hornet, which is like the upgraded version. From there, I believe they moved into the F-22 Raptor and then into the F-35. I'm not really sure what most. I've been out of the military for a while, but I kept up to date a little bit.
Those Raptors, I know the military had a lot of trouble getting those things dialed in. I'm sure they're working a lot better now, but for the longest time they were having issues. But yeah, supposedly an American F-16 jet intercepts 4 Russian warplanes near Alaska. Hello, Russia and Alaska are like 50 miles apart. So they were probably still in their own airspace. I doubt they were in American airspace.
What was that Quaid flew up in at the end of Independence Day? I'm kidding. I'm being silly. Oh, it was the plane. Wasn't that it? Wasn't that what he flew in there?
So yeah, they're saying Russian aircraft remained in international airspace and did not enter American or Canadian sovereign airspace.
Oh, really?
So that's a whole big old nothing burger.
Yeah.
What about their satellite that broke up in orbit and that created a big, huge cloud of debris? They claim that yet?
Uh-uh.
Well, I was looking there at our LEO thing, trying to see if I can find this broken up satellite, and I don't see it anywhere.
You go on. This occurs regularly and is not seen as a threat, nor is the activity seen as provocative. Then why the hell do you have it in your news article? Why are you sharing with us if this is normal and regular and happens all the time?
Right.
Is it news?
Americans in America saw some Russians in Russia. Full stop.
You got your bell handy there, John?
Damn right.
A mysterious Russian satellite broke apart early last month, creating a cloud of debris that could linger in Earth orbit for a while. Just some little science facts for you. Apparently on the night of January 3rd, the Cosmos 2499 spacecraft disintegrated. Now, this is according to the U.S. Space Force's 18th Space Defense Squadron. Yeah, I just read that out loud like a grown-up would. U.S. Space Force's 18th Space Defense Squadron.
Yeah.
You know, I got a brother-in-law that went to a Star Wars thing. I'll stop. Which these people track these human-made orbits and objects. Well, what about the LEO thing I have? This breakup generated at least 85 pieces of trackable debris. The 18th SDS said via Twitter Monday there. The cloud of space junk is orbiting 726 miles above the Earth, so high that it'll likely take a century or more for it to come on down.
Yeah, sure.
Let's see. This satellite launched to Earth in in Earth orbit, May of 2014. A Russian rocket vehicle, along with 3 Rodnik military communication satellites. It wasn't officially on the launch satellite manifest. It was tracked by U.S. satellite trackers, which initially cataloged it as a piece of debris. And then later, the debris began to make maneuvers. Haven't I read this fucking story to y'all before?
I believe so.
Or did I just like go back in time and flip around and do a little wormhole? I must have read this whole story then myself. Rarely I do that, but when I read that out loud, it just seemed like I've read this all before. It's déjà vu. What is it? There was one. Anyway, the shards at the low end of that size spectrum, which is, what is it? I'm sorry, I passed that up. According to the European Space Agency, about 36,500 pieces of space junk, at least 4 inches wide, zoom around our planet. And those are just the objects big enough to be tracked. It likely hosts more than 130 million objects. Let me read that for you one more time. Likely hosts more than 130 million objects, at least 1 millimeter across. This size of a shard can do damage to satellites, other spacecrafts, that chick in that movie one time. Yeah, it's not good. It's not good stuff. For example, I'm not even going to read that out loud. I'm not going to read that next sentence out loud. Oh, my God. Okay. Anyway, so yeah, stuff, space. I got a picture. Here it is. Where is it? Hold on. It won't play. Rewind, replay. Oh, that's not the satellite. Where's the satellite? There it is. I'll show you the image we have been given. Oh, but I kid the space people. This is the image that I've been given. Oh, man, come on. Do you not know how to work any of this stuff? How many years have you been doing that? There's the image we were given.
Right.
Yeah, that looks true.
Yeah, sharing that.
Now, wait a minute. Can you
wait a minute.
Zoom that in just a minute? Do I see like a drop shadow on that thing? Is that what I'm looking
Well, you
at?
trying to hurry up and assemble a picture for the news sources. This has,
no
I mean,
way.
there's got to be more to this than just this being a picture. I know I can do it. There it is.
No, that's a
That
box.
thing has to be huge if it's making a shadow like that on the ground.
Yeah.
Right. It's the other piece of,
right.
solar panel.
And what took that picture?
Y'all, let me go. So this is probably not even real. This has to be an artist
Oh, I know it looks artificial as fuck, but I'm just saying, how do they tell people that something actually took a picture of it?
Artist illustration of a satellite breakup. That's what we got. That's
Okay.
what it is. All right. Thank goodness. Whew. I was really worried too, guys. I was.
Have you guys ever heard of a 9mm rifle?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I've heard of a 7mm, so I imagine a 9mm can't be that big of a deal.
Henry Repeaters is introducing their first 9mm rifle.
Great.
I want one.
One of the few cheap ammos left. Now they're just going to put a huge demand on it. Wonder what's going to happen then.
And it can use magazines of Glock, Sig Sauer, Smith & Wesson.
Now I want one, because that's the kind of shit you need when shit hits the fan. When there's magazines just littered all over the ground, now you can just pick them up and take out what's left.
That's what this is for. That's what this gun is for. I mean, they say it's for protecting your property and going to the range, but a gun that you could just pick up all different types of mags, just load it into it and start firing. That's
Yes,
a wartime.
please. That's almost as good as just being able to load any type of ammo into a mag. And just come firing out.
Have you guys ever seen the world's largest rifle that you can buy?
What is it, like a 8 gauge?
Oh, no. 0.95 JDJ.
Oh, good Lord. I wouldn't even attempt to shoot something like that.
Yeah, you have to be prepared for it because it'll blast you back. There's all kinds of videos on YouTube to show it, though.
Yeah, an 8 gauge, or that's an elephant gun, dude. That thing will blast you back. I'm only, I don't weigh that much. I ain't shooting no 8 gauge. 12 gauge with, 3-inch supercharge in there. That's pushing it right there. That hurts. You feel that. I do on my shoulder. No way would I shoot that gun. No way.
Yeah, when I was in the military and we had to go through our weapons training at the range, for shotguns, and we had to shoot like 60 rounds. Man, it starts to hurt. And that was just a Mossberg 500.
Yeah, I love my Mossberg 500. I put quite a few shells through that. But yeah, you start getting into the bigger rounds. Ooh, I had my buddy. We offered him $20. We had a double barrel there, where it had the 2 triggers. You could fire them both at the same time.
Yeah.
Put 2 3-inch slugs in there. 1-ounce slugs. And said $20 if you pull both triggers at the same time. He did, from his inside of his shoulder all the way down to where his arm breaks, forearm to mid-arm right there. Was all black and blue and green. It pushed his shoulder back and then jumped down his arm and hit his bicep, super hard. I wish I still had the video of that. He almost dropped the gun. He held onto it with his left hand only. His right hand, it came out of his right hand. Yeah. Not worth $20, folks. Just saying. Yeah, guns are they're not toys, It's something that you take seriously. You can play with them. You can take them out to the range and shoot them when you're not shooting at something that's alive. I consider that playing with your gun almost, or training if you want to call it that. But yeah, know what you're doing with guns. You got to.
You want to see the biggest gun? It's a minute long.
Yeah, we just got to talk through it.
Okay, well.
Yeah,
a lot of people are
radio show again, Andrew, in the morning, radio.
I'm sorry.
No,
I'm just fucking with you, man. Go.
All right. So yeah, this is, you guys can describe it, I guess.
No, yeah, he's basically got it set up. He's on the range. He's got it all locked in.
Good Lord.
Loading this probably 7 or 8 inch round.
It almost looks as round as a pop can. The bullet. I'm sure it's not. It's probably a little bit smaller, but look at the size of that
barrel. Yeah, the girth on that bastard.
Yeah, and he's got this thing bolted to the table. He's not holding this thing in the air to shoot it.
Yeah, no, he does not. He is not holding this.
I bet it still kicks. That whole table. Oh, jeez.
Oh.
Yeah, how'd that feel, buddy? And he had a big pad there, too.
And then he looked at his trigger finger. Like it might have hurt it. That's crazy.
Yeah, I have no intention of ever shooting a gun like that. There's a lot of guns that I haven't shot that I'd like to, but nothing that caliber. I don't even want to shoot a Barrett 50. I hear those things kick like a mule too.
Dude, I was just, not too long ago, it's been a few months, but there was a video of this guy at a range shooting a fully auto 50 cal. And it's hilarious because, they're gigantic. So he just got it pointing up in the air. He's got it loaded and he just kind of steps out on the range. And there's people around him. You can see behind him guys, sending rounds down or reloading, getting ready to shoot. And he's got this fucking 50 cal. And all he does is he puts his hand up on the stock and he lowers it. And you as soon as he gets it level, he just has to start pulling the trigger. starts raising the barrel up, but you can just see the dust and debris getting cleared out around him as that thing goes off. It was insane. And he only got like 6 or 7 rounds out because it's, not that big of a magazine, but
huge rounds.
Yeah. And expensive.
How heavy the gun is already, and then you put the rounds in it and everything. Yeah, and they're probably what, $15 to $20 a pop shooting one of those.
At least. I'll see if I can't actually find that.
Not cheap. I'm sure they make cheaper stuff for just being at the range. I mean, I don't know. I've never shot a 50. Never wanted to buy the ammo. I had an option to buy some 50 caliber rounds, but it's like, what's the point if I don't have something to shoot it out of? Yeah, I was getting some really cool ammunition from it was kind of like an army surplus.
Damn it. Yeah, exactly. Sorry. Yeah,
called Ready or Not.
Because it's a YouTube short. That's why I was having a hard time with it. Let's see if I can't get this. Shared screen. Probably have to do computer sound because that shit's stupid.
You ever shot one of those handguns that fires I think it's a 10 gauge round? Or not a 10 gauge, a 20 gauge round? It's a handgun that shoots shotgun rounds. Yeah. They're crazy looking, dude. I held one. That gun is so heavy itself. The gun's got a lot of weight to it. I never shot it. I didn't want to shoot it. The guy who was carrying it was like 6'6" and 250. So it was made for someone that size. But yeah, the gun was just enormous. I was like, nah, I don't want to shoot it. I'm good.
All right. So here's this. I'm going to play this. This is just.
Hey, you're still sharing.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to play.
Oh, you're sharing. Oh, I'm sorry. I got back to the thing trying to find the call. Sorry.
Gotcha. No, that's all right.
That gun's almost as damn.
I'll probably have to play through it a couple times. I'm muted on the sound. Look at that. The dust that kicked up. Here we go.
Show you how what's tactical turkeys do.
Good. Can you imagine that? And still have enough power in your arm to clear it out afterwards.
Show you how what's tactical turkeys do.
I could hold that gun even out like that.
Right? Sorry, there's just something about that.
Oh, that's some serious. I've heard down in South America with these guns, with Barrett 50s, trying to shoot down airliners. That if you're going to shoot down an airliner, that's the gun you're going to try to do it with.
Yeah, that's the one.
I mean, one of the things I learned about guns, though, is when you're shooting them like for more than 5 rounds at a time, your rounds become increasingly more inaccurate. You can like completely miss your target by a long ways. That's why they tell you 1 second burst on an automatic weapon, so it puts out about 3 rounds. Like an M240 Bravo or M60, that's all you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, full auto is not for hitting your target. Full auto is to suppress a target and let you get into position or move, flank around something. Yeah, full auto is not made. You're not trying to. I mean, you're aiming at them, but you're not expecting to hit them. You just want them to duck right now.
Yeah, it's cover fire and suppressive fire, which is kind of the same thing. So when your troops have to advance forward and you don't want them shooting at you, that's when you use the full auto.
Yeah, other than that, it's really a waste.
Because the barrel raises as that velocity comes out. So that's why you only do it in short bursts, because the first second is going to be kind of on target. But if you just keep that trigger down, by the 3rd second, you'll be almost pointing in the sky. So you keep 1 second bursts just so you can drop that muzzle down again and get it back on target after each burst.
Josh, did you ever get to shoot those kind of guns?
You know, I shot the Saw 249.
Yeah,
that was pretty fun.
Oh man, those easy. That's like 250 sending.
Yeah, that's one of the belt fed. Yeah, that was a good time.
And you can shoulder fire that too.
You can.
If you can, yeah.
It's heavy.
A big gun.
I sent 2 rounds, I guess, through a M203 under barrel grenade launcher. Was pretty fun. And then just chucking a hand grenade was pretty cool.
Yeah, M203 is what I carried when I was in Iraq. That was a bitch, though.
Yeah, that's a reach out.
So anyway.
Right
Sorry, that's been a long time too. Almost 30 years. Fuck, I'm old.
I'm sorry, guys. I woke up early. I'm talkative right now.
No, it's all right. Talk away. I woke up early and.
Are we hitting the brakes, or did you?
So no, we got that muted, and I think chat's pretty over the gun thing. Real quick, shout out to Nuba, who just started a 24/7 channel over there on the YouTubers. I linked it in the chat, so go check it out if you have yet to do that. Trying to bring it back over here. There it is. Okay.
Yeah, he said in Telegram he tried it out and it got taken down like pretty quick the first time.
There
he
you
tried
go.
it.
Well, he's got a new one and it's flowing right now. Looks like he's showing some Astro. I'm not sure. It's a language I don't speak, so I can't really say what it is. But a good supporter of our channel, so definitely go support Nuba if you can. I have linked it. There will be, well, I have Zack's video to link in the show description, but it will be in this chat as well when you go back through the live stream. Thank you there, Wombat. I appreciate that. I see that. But yeah, in spite of not having commercials, we have managed to almost do this thing. We've got about 30 minutes left before we get too far, and I forget yet again, we have a plan for this afternoon. It will be our good friend 17 Joy there in chat. Hopefully, Special K himself, Kalen Wilkinson, and our buddy David M. will be here talking about some interesting topics. Parasites, some interesting new technology about barcodes and what they could be doing to us all. I mean, we already knew they weren't great, but you might be surprised to find out how bad they really are. But definitely be here. It's going to be interesting. I definitely can't. I've looked at a few things behind the scenes that 17 Joy was sharing with me, and yeah, it's pretty mind-breaking. So, no spoilers, though. No Zack. I won't be doing that for y'all. You'll have to be here this afternoon. Here in about, 12-ish hours, actually. Yeah, just about 12 hours. We'll try to kick that thing off. Technical abilities.
I want to give a shout out to Kevlar.
What's up, Kevlar?
Hopped into chat and just happened to mention, and I say this almost flippantly, but he's still battling some depression. They are. And was just, asking for some prayers. And I just want to say how huge just that is. Right? It's not that they just mentioned that they were still suffering from depression. I mean, being able to type that into chat is huge. And
right.
Being able to express it and ask for that help is huge. So I just want to remind everybody and ask everybody to give those prayers, shoot those positive vibes Kevlar's way, because ain't nothing worse than a depression. I feel like I'm still sort of battling on that teeter ever since the 1st of January when we lost the rabbit. It's like the grief and the sadness was so deep that it sort of altered that brain chemistry a little bit back to when I was in my 20s and was suffering from depression. So it's one of those things I've been having to pay very close attention to, where I'm sleeping more and just my attitude's more negative and just things like this that I can see the depression creeping in. And that's really the key to the depression is being able to identify it before it gets bad. And then take those proactive steps and figure out some good coping skills. So I really appreciate you, Kevlar, and appreciate you being able to put that in chat. And we'll be sending any and all positive vibes I have your way because I know what a bitch depression can be.
Don't take the drugs they're going to try and prescribe you, like those SSRIs. Stay away from that shit.
And
There's
alcohol.
much easier ways to overcome it. And I was kind of going through that for a while when I was, it was like 10 years ago. And I talked to a counselor, and he told me, one of the best things you can do to overcome it is to exercise. Believe it or not.
I believe it.
It works.
Yeah,
In nature.
Depression is one of those things that can definitely keep you from exercising when all you want to do is stay in bed. I don't know. I was going to say something. I totally lost it.
It's mind over matter.
And go get some nature in you. 50 cc's a nature stat. All right. 10, 20 minutes a day. Give it, a couple weeks, a month. And the first day when you're out there. And don't just go out there and sit out there and dwell on things that you're thinking about. Go out there and focus on it. Find a plant. Get to know it. Look at it. Really study that plant. Find some bugs that are around you. See what they're up to, what they're doing. Just pay attention to your surroundings for a little bit. 10, 20 minutes a day. I guarantee it'll help. It's not going to make it all go away. It's not. But
and unfortunately, it didn't occur overnight. Life leads up to these places. I definitely have spent my share of, and this was unfortunately back in the day when I was so desperate and looking for help that I was going to doctors and trying some of their Serazones and et ceteras. And after about 3 months of the most insane thought processes I've ever had going through my head, I realized that, no, this is madness and I'm not ever going to do this again. And then I began to work my way outside and do some meditation. And the first day, oh, well, yeah, nice. There's a butterfly. There's a tree. I still hate myself. What the fuck? But again, none of that happened overnight. So it's not going to fix itself in one visit to a nature area or one session of trying to meditate and breathe and let things go. And none of that's going to happen instantly, unfortunately. And you can come here every time we're live, and you're more than welcome to come hang out with us off the air as well, Kevlar. And certainly we've all, like I said, we've all been in these places.
And if you need a place to vent, this is what I think is really important about depression is because you have all these horrible, horrible thoughts and you don't want to say them out loud because people are going to look at you like you're fucking crazy. And if you need a place just to go and vent your thoughts and your feelings, because we know that thoughts and feelings are not facts. Feelings change, facts don't. So you're more than welcome to come and just vent how you feel about your depression and all the shit that's making you depressed and say whatever kind of weird, whacked out shit without people having to worry about people judging what you've said. Because that's, I think, so key is having, I even hate to use the term, but that safe space where you can just come and say whatever you want without worrying about scaring somebody off or having them make something out of it more than what it is.
And I think the flat earth community is a very accepting community, more than I'd say most religions, even though flat earth is not a religion. Unless they're a troll, you can come to a flat earther and just talk about something, and most of them are going to be so open-minded about what you're talking about, they're going to listen and respond, to try and help you out. I don't think there's any negativity that should ever be felt when you're trying to express, just like Josh was saying, just trying to vent.
Right. And hey, don't let the fact that you've already gone through some medical processes make it feel like, oh no, what have I done? And we've all, my God, the things that were injected into me as an infant and a young kid by my mom because she thought she was doing the right thing to help me, having been raised through the polio scares and the et ceteras. she thought she was helping her children by vaccinating us. And so, yeah, the things that were done to me and that it created in my body, and then moving forward, the things that I tried to figure out before I understood that, the pharmacy is what it really is. We all have done some fucked up things medically to ourselves.
And look, I'll take the hit.
Can be recovered. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Josh.
I was just going to say that I'll take the hit. I think that if I were suffering from a depression that were severe, I would take meds. I absolutely would take meds.
Right. That's what I was trying to say. Don't feel like, oh no, what have I done? I mean, there's things, there is emergencies that are severe enough to where you have got to, do triage essentially. So don't beat yourself up for sure. And none of us are professionals and none of us have a clue. And we're just here because we love helping people and want people to have a place to be safe. And that's really what we've tried to be here at Iron Rim. So you definitely are safe here with us to talk about anything. So, but definitely, yeah, your body will clean itself. It sometimes needs help. It sometimes needs, reassurance and some of the care that unfortunately kind of goes on the wayside when all you want to do is, like Josh said, sleep in the bed. So yeah, your body is an amazing thing. It will work in every way it can to heal you. You just have to give it the space and the time to work itself out. And again, none of the things that you're going through happened overnight, and none of them are going to fix themselves in a snap of the fingers.
Have you guys ever heard, going off of what Zack was saying, getting out in nature? That's kind of what the therapist told me. Exercise out in nature, go for a jog, go for a walk through the forest, go down to the beach. And so that's what I did with a buddy. And I found, this is kind of a long story, but I found out about something called geocaching. Have you guys ever heard of that?
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's super fun. You can do it by yourself or you can do it with a family. And if you go online and look at how many things people hide all over the place, I mean, it's all over. It's everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a fun thing to do.
Got to be careful doing that, because I've heard of people like setting traps at these places. Like, hey, yeah, go out here in the middle of nowhere, and then now all of a sudden you're surrounded by 5 people and you're ended up on some white slave trade block.
Okay.
Right. I was actually going to say I had, we had actually had somebody on our show years ago that had a little community going about that very idea of a randomized attempt at sort of anti-caching, I guess you could say. And after I thought about it a minute, I thought maybe not, because of some of the things I've read about occurrences, just about like what you're talking about there. So you just got to be careful in this world of people taking advantage that aren't maybe people in the first place. Anyway, but definitely nature is a key, and the brain is a miracle. I see that question as well there, Kev. It's definitely a miracle. It's not an accident of nature, for gosh darn sure. And the fact that it can recover and heal itself is definitely, well, hopefully evidenced by some semblance of clues that we all have figured out along the way here. So I really think it's key to actually figuring out some of the clues. I think if you don't hit that rock bottom, you may not be as willing to see beyond the fucking facade that they want us to be fooled by on a daily basis. They feed us on these screens and in these fucking just crazy machinations. It's like insanity that we see going on around us. So the fact that we're a little more aware behind the scenes and a little more, knowledgeable about what could or couldn't be going on, it does give it a bit of an extra sting sometimes. But that same token, you should also know that the creation that we're in is a beautiful thing, and we have a huge amount of control and power over it with that brain, that spirit, that soul that drives this fucked up meat suit, and the fact that we can just take a little time away from all these crazy things that get beamed at us through all these sources by walking out into a gift of nature. It's right there. Some people you have to walk a little further, unfortunately, in the big cities or whatever, but it's there. You can find it. If you take off your shoes and stand on that sidewalk, somewhere under that sidewalk, there's some fucking dirt. You will get that energy if you are working hard enough to find it. It's there. If nothing else, get some sunshine in your eyes. Pure sunshine. No glasses in the way, no shades in the way. Definitely don't do it at noon, early morning.
Yeah, that's your
right at
vitamin D
sunrise.
intake.
Yeah, that's a miracle of what that can do to help change the brain chemistry and recreate some of the synapses and
Yeah, I heard
neurons. And I'm saying all this strictly from things I've done for myself. You know, like after my wreck, I was ready to die. Like the drugs I was on, the situation I was in, you know, I was ready to die. If I hadn't started really going out across the road into those trees and my buddy down the corner here and sitting on those roots with my bare feet, it didn't matter how cold it was for me. I was out there barefooted on those roots, letting it go, putting it into that earth. That earth took it and dispersed it, and I didn't have to deal with it anymore. So, yeah. Hug a tree, it sounds fucking like a cliche, but dude, those trees saved my life. Yeah, they fucking saved my life.
Yeah, take off your shoes, take off your socks, and go put your feet in some soil. It's amazing.
So yeah, Callum Wilkinson says too, is also as corny as it sounds, doing a list of everything you are grateful for morning and night will help too. That's about laying those neural pathways and training your brain. That's biohacking your brain and the way that your brain works.
Yep.
Teaching it how to think positively, because sometimes that's what needs to be done. But I do want to make a point that I would much rather have a Kevlar that is battling depression and needing to use a medication in the interim to get him through the rough patch than no Kevlar at all.
Yep.
I was one of those self-mutilators, the self-harmers, the cutters, the burners. That was me. And as horrible as the self-mutilation is, a lot of the psychologists have said that it's, you know, the sort of last and final coping mechanism. That as bad as it is, it beats the alternative, which is when there's no other way to process information. And so that's sort of the way I see the pharmaceuticals. They're going to want you to stay on them. But 9 times out of 10, it's going to be a temporary fix. I'm not a doctor. I don't prescribe medicine. I'm not currently taking any medicine, so you don't need to listen to my advice. But more often than not, it can be used to get you through the rough parts. A 3-month period, a 6-month period, watch how you go on them, watch how you come off them. But 9 times out of 10, most people, I don't think, need them in perpetuity. Because most people will
I
still
also
drink.
see. Oh, I'm sorry.
I was just going to throw this on there because most people will still drink. Avoid the alcohol too. If you're battling depression, don't take a medicine that makes you depressed. Because no matter what medication you're doing to make you happy, it's not going to work when you're also taking alcohol, which will make you depressed. Not just your central nervous system, but your brain chemistry. You will feel depressed. And you will try to think, I had fun when I was drinking, so let me drink some more so I'm not depressed. And that's how alcoholics are born. So just be careful, watch your alcohol, and we love you, and just hope to see you around more.
Yeah, I was talking about this yesterday on my live stream at the end of it, about it's so easy to get wrapped up in this crazy place and all the negativity around us that we're bombarded with at all times. Everywhere you look, they're trying to throw something negative at you. And one way to, fight that and counter that is to find things that you have in your everyday life that you can appreciate, be appreciative of. I was talking about how appreciative I am that I was born in this country where I have the right to believe whatever I want. I've been doing research on this lately about the laws in different countries and stuff. And there's places where you can't believe something else. Like you are part of this religion, or you're either exiled or you're killed. That's it. This is still going on today in some places. So that's one of my greatest appreciations, is that I was born not in the United States, but in a place and a time where I'm alive. I have this right to just believe what my heart tells me is true. And that's a blessing. It really is. Even though it's this little thing that we all in this country take for granted anymore, there's places where people don't have that right. And it's just those little things like that. Find some little things like that that you can appreciate that you have right now. And when you think about these things and you're grateful for them and you're, admittedly grateful to yourself for these things, it helps. It really does.
Yeah. If you need to sit down and make a list of what you're grateful for, and you can grab a pen and a piece of paper to make that list, there's number one. You will always have something to put on that list. Even if I'm grateful that I have a pencil to write this list, I'm grateful that I can scratch this list in the dirt. You will always have something to be grateful for. And that's the point of training your brain.
Bed, roof really over your head. I mean, it can be simple stuff that can all of a sudden make you realize if you look around this plane, there are a lot worse situations you could have chosen. And that does speak to some of the path that we're all on, being a tough one, a rough one that can cause some people, unfortunately, to go through some really dark periods. But it kind of speaks back to that piece of gravel you find out in the driveway and you throw it in that stone turner and let it tumble against all those other hard rocks and hits and bams and bops and bips, and suddenly you got a beautiful shining jewel in your fucking hand when it's all said and done. In biology, whether you believe certain ideas or not, a fact is an organism that gets everything it needs will stay where it is. It won't change, it won't grow, it won't evolve, it will not mature. It will stay perfectly where it's at as long as all its needs are met. So the fact that yours aren't currently being met, I would put that on my gratitude list and see what it's teaching you and what you're learning from it and the strength you're going to get from it. These are things I've gone through. Again, this is only stuff I've dealt with and things I've had to do for myself, or I wouldn't be speaking at all about some of this. And as we all know in this truth community, we find out a lot of shocking things, a lot of unsettling things, a lot of scary things. But the other things we find out are how fucking powerful we really are, because that's the major thing they don't want you to remember. That's the major thing. They want to keep you dwelling in, oh, what did I do? And my past stuff, all that is fixable. Oh, you can't fix the past. You'd be surprised how malleable time is. So just have the gratitude of knowing you are going through this to become a stronger warrior than you've ever been before, or at least that's what it has done for me. So go ahead, Andrew, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was just going to ask, you and Josh were both talking about the same thing, and I got something to add to that. So there is that book, Think and Grow Rich. Have you ever read that?
I know of it. I've not read it.
I know it. I don't know if I've ever gotten it.
You can get it on audiobook. I've got it on hard, actual physical copy, and then I listened to it like 3 times on audiobook. And that's what they talk about constantly in the book. And a lot of millionaires and billionaires say that's the reason that they're rich. That's the reason they're happy, because you don't have to get money from it. But they're talking about writing down affirmations, just like Jaron has been doing. And he's been on time for all of his shows because he says he puts it on his phone. He listens to his affirmations every single day on a timer. And it seems to be working. And I've done the same thing. I got a little lazy with it, but Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill.
Yeah, the Billy Zack there in chat just shared it again there. Thank you, Billy.
Yeah, that's an amazing book. Like even that dude that was in Wolf of Wall Street, what's his real name? Anyways, he's like $100 million in debt to the government right now because of all the fines he got. But he, Jordan Belfort, that's his name. Anyways, yeah, that's one of the things he said. The reason he got rich was because he read that book, and that's what made him rich. So, and it doesn't necessarily have to be, wealth with money. Wealth can come in a lot of different forms. So, and who was it? Kevlar saying that he was getting kind of depressed? Hop in, Kevlar, if you want to have a chat, man.
Yeah, we only got about 6 minutes left for.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, it would have been, yeah, it's your any time. It's just we're about to run out of here, and I'd hate to get you in here and it be good, and we have to cut you out at the last minute. So definitely, Iron Realm Media at Gmail or Facebones777 at Gmail are ways to reach out. It sometimes takes a minute, as 17 showing there in chat can tell you, but I will do it, and I will reach out, and I will get back to you. And speaking of 17 Joy, we will see you and David M. and Special K, Caleb, there this afternoon, evening. I know we're screwing you up with time so bad there, Caleb, but we appreciate it. Hopefully you'll be able to make it work out. I know it's a crazy time of day for you over there, you time traveling Australians, you. And I saw you in chat earlier there, Lucas. I meant to shout you out, brother. Love you and miss having you around for sure. Glad to see you in our chats lately and see you popping around doing some stuff. So come back and hit us up when you can, for damn sure. But definitely, Kevlar, you are welcome to come hang out. The chat this afternoon will be pretty lively. I'm almost certain of it. And maybe towards the end of things, we will open up the lines and see if people want to hop in or not. It'll depend. I'm kind of certain this is going to go a bit long. It's a huge topic and one I'm really excited to cover. So we'll try to work out the time frame. But yeah, man, look, all the love and definitely all the gratitude for you sharing with us this. I mean, it's hard. Josh was saying that a while ago. It's hard to open up about some of this stuff to just complete strangers, first of all, and then hopefully future family and friends that you have now met. So come hang out anytime, my friend. Absolutely.
Yeah, there are a lot of doctors too that do videos online that talk about depression. Dr. Kaufman is one of them, for example. He does really great stuff about depression. And, you know, if you're just depressed sitting at home, just pull up a YouTube video with Dr. Kaufman or something and check it out.
Sorry,
I'm multitasking. Yeah, I'm trying to do some stuff too. What you got?
Nothing. I was just sharing that song around that I had shared with you gentlemen at the beginning before the show started. Right. Just felt the need. It's a really good one. It's a guy with a group of folks that when my wife introduced me to them, I wasn't a big fan. Didn't really get it too much. It just didn't really vibe with what I was listening to at the time. Maybe I don't know exactly what it was, because it is a little different. The pacing's a little different. It's not your traditional. You listen to it. Tell me what you guys think. It's once you start really paying attention to the words. If you can get a lyrics video, those are always good. But this is there's some really good ones that I like, and this was one of my top favorites. So I just wanted to share it around. I put it in the chats. I shared it.
I haven't had a chance to listen to it yet, but I'm damn excited. The last song. Oh, I need to share that right now with Kevlar. Damn it! Why didn't I already think of that? The last song you shared with us that we were like, oh, what? Let's see what this is. Broke my brain, which was the High Ren song. I'm about to go share that right now with Kevlar. I'm sure it's in my history. Very recently, I share it quite often. There it is. I will share that in chat as well.
Yeah, if you like this and do a bit of a deep dive on the guy doing this thing in Nako, he's really interesting. Yeah, you could go down that YouTube rabbit hole.
I know. I was worried about. That's what I want to play this, but I'm worried about bullshit too. So I'm not gonna play it. Oh, what's up, Billy Ray Valentine in the chat? What's up, brother? I didn't even see you. So much going on. So much going on.
Much love, BRB.
Yes. But yeah, man, look, I'm gonna drop this song in chat. It's a song that's like, yeah, it's speaking hugely to what you're going through, Kevlar. I've gone through this gentleman's back catalog a bit, and he's definitely dealt with some serious depression and has managed to battle his way through it and make some amazing art from it. So again, I'm excited to see what this next guy you've got shared here, Josh. I really am.
Something else that can help out too with depression is to do like aromatherapy and go get a massage. Trust me, it works.
Yeah, releasing all those internal body toxins, it's an amazing thing. Lots of stuff gets trapped in the body. And as it is released, you will go through those emotions. You can, if someone really knows how to work some of that deep tissue stuff and get some of that music stuff and vibration going, you can go through some serious emotions getting some massage work.
Yeah, you can.
I'm just playing catch up in chat. Now that I missed Billy, I'm like, what else have I missed? Man.
There's a happy ending joke in there somewhere, but I'm going to miss it.
I'm not going to go there. That's why I went to chat. I'm trying to be good.
I'm the hit it.
Well, Kevlar, I hope you've had some fun with us for sure this morning, because we are really about to get out of here in a minute. Come see us this afternoon for sure if you can. We will be right here in this same place, same flat channel, basically same flat time. By the time we finally get it going, I'm sure it'll be close to this 12 hours from now, but we will see David M, 17 Joy, and Caleb there at about 11 hours, just to make sure we can, make audio adjustments or whatever we have to do. I have I have to get the link. I know I have it floating around here somewhere. Without having the app open and going, I can't really easily grab it. I'll have to go find where I dropped it to somebody last, but I will get that link to you guys within the next hour, so you'll have it ready to go. And whenever we get it going this afternoon, you'll just be able to pop in, and we will start working on those sound connections. What else? I don't know.
I don't know either. Thanks for coming in and hanging out, Andrew. Really appreciate it.
Absolutely, my friend.
Yeah, sorry. I know I've been hopping in randomly a lot lately, so hopefully I'm not being a pest.
Nope. Yeah, we'll block you when we get tired of it. No, man, it's been a blast. Thank you so much. And it's been fun helping you get things going on the trivia thing too. I'm really excited to see this next big battle.
Yeah,
I've been writing them the whole time, right? You've been sitting here.
There you go. Yeah, man, it's been great watching it happen. And like I said, I'll be on one soon. Soon. I got to get that T-shirt, man. There's things to be won here. Shit.
Well, I think we're only going to be doing at least two more until we get to the 2,500. I think that's going to be possible by at least the third one. So after that, I'm going to have to take a break. And
I might be in the one after the Zack one. Then we'll see. Reach out to me.
All right. Well, you got my phone number if you ever want to chat?
I do. I absolutely do. And then, if I'm not mistaken, did I not see Kevlar share his number in chat for everybody? I did. So, guys, if you have some time and would like to reach out, it is there in the chat. I'm not going to read it out loud, even though you've given it to us in chat. I would rather keep it in that tight-knit community, sir, for you to, some people that have been vetted, I guess you could say, rather than just random people that may not be vetted. I don't know what I'm trying to say. We're just trying to look out for you, friend. That's all. So your number is in the chat. If you guys want to grab that, I'm grabbing it right now.
Is he in Telegram?
I'm not sure. Kevlar, if you're not in Telegram, you should be hanging out with us over there. Is the link? Yeah, it's right there. If you look in the show description, it is, how many down? Oh, it's the first one, right?
I think so. It should be.
If people are not in Telegram and are not aware of what it is, I was really apprehensive at first to get on there. It's text messaging on steroids, basically.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm going to drop the link for you here. But it's the first link in our show description, and it gets you to a group chat that a large number of, I got like, what, 40 or 50 of them in there right now, huh? Yeah, 50. Look at that. Hell yeah. So it's where the family hangs. And you'll find some amazing music in there. You'll find all kind of stuff. Oh, look, and I'm getting lost playing catch up in that chat. I need to get out of there for right now. Anyway, but it's the first link in our show description. Kevlar, if you're not in there, hop in for sure. I've got too much open now. Something's playing in my ear. What is it? Oh, that's Ren. I should have known that. Yeah, go check out that Ren song too. Let me close that. All right. Anything else? See you this afternoon. Links on the way to the people I spoke to in the chat. I don't know. Love y'all.
Love you guys. I just wanted to make sure I got this text sent. That way, I've got the number. They've got the number.
Yeah,
everything's done.
On my, yeah, go ahead.
So there we go. Yeah, I see. Did see that Kevlar was in Michigan, and I thought maybe I might know some people in Michigan that were familiar with helping folks that are dealing with some psychological issues. So I'm glad to see that connection was made. Yeah, I think we're gonna get out of here. Love you guys. I'm sure we're probably already a little past time because I wanted to get that text sent.
I want to get that right. Yeah.
Well, then here, let me boot these folks. Probably should have just done this from the get-go and just taken it down. Anyway, love you guys. We will be back here this evening for Have No Sphere. We'll have, as Walt has been saying, 17 Joy, David M., and Callan Wilkinson for an exciting episode. Parasites, barcodes, and all sorts of exciting information. And then back again on Tuesday next week for more of the Ironworx, Truth Frequency Radio, TFRlive.com, not to mention all the places that haven't removed us as of yet.
And that's the day that Zack is going to be going against Jared.
Well, then he might have to get some sleep, rest up.
Just a reminder.
Brain cells relax until they need to be called upon.
Dude will be ready. We're going to train him this weekend. He's going to drink raw eggs. He's going to pull me on a cart. I don't know.
You're a monster. You're going to kill him. All right. Love you guys. Have a great rest of your weekend.
I'll muddy you to death inside of 3 rounds. Right. All right, I'll stop.
Be good, be well, and we will see you folks later.